Welcome back at the half, and today we're joined by Saint Vincent senior forward Paige Montrose. And Paige, before we take a look at this season and the team and how they're doing, take us back to last year and the Bearcats winning the program's first ever PAC championship, and take us through those emotions and what it was like for you and the team.
Yeah, so definitely winning the PAC championship last year and it being the first one in program history is like we made our mark on this place and in the history books through this program. I just remember thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, we did it. Like, after all the summer workouts, preseason workouts, throughout the season, extra workouts, time put into the gym, it was like it finally paid off in this moment of just pure bliss and happiness and togetherness.
Now, you're part of a senior class, a very deep and talented senior class, 7 players. What's it been like to come up with your fellow teammates as senior group?
It's been really, really special and incredible to think that a lot of us actually did get to play quite a bit as freshmen, and so to kind of see our dynamics develop and the chemistry develop. And I think coming into each year has been a little easier because it wasn't like we were starting anew with one another. Now it's like we already have that basis and we kind of know what to expect from one another.
Now, back as a freshman, things didn't start out so easy for you here at St. Vincent, finding it tough to to find playing time. Of course, there's so many upperclassmen like there are now, so for the freshmen, it's always tough to find time to get on the floor. However, you got some words of wisdom from your mother that helped you propel yourself to a strong finish your freshman year. Tell us about that and how that's been a springboard for you here at St. Vincent.
So I remember freshman year, like you said, I was playing under Hannah Carroll and Babette St. Martin, and it was definitely hard because you go from being who your team relies on in high school to now you're a freshman playing with all new players, different system, and it's kind of going from like the top and the peak of your career to the bottom. And so yeah, my mom had told me that, well, you can pretty much quit or you can stick with it, and I've never been one to quit, and so it's really paid off to kind of put that time and effort in. And I think it's made me appreciate even more so now where I'm at and the success we've had as a program, because I've been able to see and watch it develop and grow as a team.
Now, while your numbers speak for themselves, you've been a spark plug and emotional type player for the team. How do you try to lift up your teammates with your play?
So I'm the one that cries after losses, cries after good wins, and so definitely letting my emotions not take over but motivate me. And so it's always been a matter of going out there and giving 100% that I can, whether we're up 20, down 20, whatever the situation is, and knowing what position, what the team needs at that time, whether it's somebody to be a calming force if we're frazzled and the other team's hitting good shots and we're not, or if it's that we're getting maybe too high and then need to be kind of brought down a level so that we don't let it get out of control.
Now, St. Vincent, defensively, a unit that presses, forces a lot of turnovers, really fits well with your style of play. You were third in the PAC last season in steals. How disruptive can this St. Vincent defense be?
So I know we spent a lot of time in practice, especially under the attention of Coach Kurt, working on our defense and just how we can force teams. Our biggest priority is to make people shoot the shots that they don't want to take. Obviously, we're going to let up points, every team does, but if we're letting up points that they don't necessarily usually get, then it's a win. And so I really think, too, we have the motto that our defense fuels our offense. So when we're getting steals defensively and we're really pressing a team and they feel like they're suffocating, that's when we're doing best on offense as well.
Now, before coming to St. Vincent, you had a successful high school career at Seneca Valley High School, multi-sport athlete, track and field, basketball, of course, and soccer. And you were a part of 2 WPIAL championship teams with the soccer team at Seneca Valley. Unfortunately, some injuries kept you off the field for some of those title wins, but nonetheless, you were a big factor in those championship runs. How much fun was your high school career as a whole at Seneca Valley, and to win those championships as well?
I think at Seneca Valley it was really fun. Obviously, Seneca's a 6A school, so there was a lot of good competition in our section. And then amongst the teams, I played with a lot of good players. And so I think it really developed me as a player, too, to get used to playing against tough competition. And it was a lot of fun, too.
And with you being such an outstanding player at soccer as well, why decide on basketball as your future?
So it's funny actually, Saint Vincent was the only school I looked at for basketball. It was up until the basketball season started my senior year, I'd only talked to soccer coaches and visited schools. And then once basketball started, it was like, I don't think I can give this up. Like with basketball, it was everything. It was you got to play offense, you got to play defense. I thought it was more fun, more intense than soccer was. And so while it was really, really hard to give up soccer, I think it would have been devastating to give up basketball.
Now again, you're a senior here at St. Vincent, majoring in economics and mathematics. Tell us about your plans for the future.
So right now I'm applying to graduate school programs in fields of public health and then also economics. Trying not to stress too much about getting accepted or what comes afterwards, and just kind of focus on now and what I need to do and let the future figure itself out.
And as far as the St. Vincent team this year, defending champions and picked number 1 in the PAC preseason poll, what does the team need to do to collect another championship?
I think it's going to be a lot of mental preparation this year. So with the target on our backs of previous championships, every team, whether it's the strongest in the pack or the weakest, they're going to give us their best game, because that's what happens when you win the championship. And so I think it's going to be a matter of never taking games lightly, always coming out and starting each quarter ready to play, and then always playing together and relying on one another to pick each other up.
That's St. Vincent senior forward Paige Montrose. Paige, thanks so much for your time and good luck.
Thank you so much, Randy.
We'll have more coming up right after this.